Read her comment. Exactly this. Until we can actually acknowledge, take ownership and accountability, and truly reckon with and understand the psychopathy that is induced from being racialized as white over history, right? Basis of the trauma that was the transatlantic slave trade and all the ways anti-Black racism and the delusion and violence of white supremacy continue to compound that trauma over time and reinforce it. And so you think about that passed on through generations. What has that looked like for those of us racialized as white? What has centuries of being godless, soulless psychopaths meant for our lineage? There's a reckoning and an atonement that needs to happen for us to come back to our humanity. I believe that full well. And yes, until we can actually acknowledge that and get honest, there is no moving forward. We constantly want to remove ourselves from the problem and make ourselves the exception, which is a major reason why things do not progress and do not move forward. Because those of us who think we have a soul and a conscience, we may not be overtly causing direct harm to Black, brown, and indigenous people, people of color, whatever language you feel comfortable with, those who are not racialized as white. But we are actively benefiting every day from our phenotype, from the color of our skin, how we're racialized. And so you might not think you're a part of the problem, but the very nature of us actively benefiting and not doing anything to disrupt the system is why the global system of anti-Black racism and the delusion of supremacy is still as pervasive, violent, and present as it is. It couldn't be that without us opting into upholding, perpetuating it, and refusing to actively disrupt it. Okay, it's midnight and I really need to go to bed, but yeah, the comments I get from bot accounts that call me a self-hating white or something of the like, if by that you mean I hate the construction of whiteness, yes, I am. Call me self-hating white, call me race traitor, call me whatever you want. But I love myself in a way that I never did at 35. It took recovery, sobriety, very intentional healing, several rock bottoms. But to be honest, I love myself and I'm okay with myself in a way that I wasn't before. And precisely being on that journey has only solidified my knowledge and confirmation of what is really at play and what is really at stake. And I'll leave you with this point. Something I have really firmly come to believe when it comes to the way that the delusion of white supremacy and anti-Black racism, how it affects us as people who are phenotypically presenting as white, racialized as white in this world. It overhumanizes us, right? It dehumanizes melanated folks and Black people in particular. And if you want to go into the conversation on colorism, the most melanated Black folks. But it overhumanizes white people to a point where we can't look at ourselves. Because we've been overhumanized, we don't know what it is like to take accountability, to hear about ourselves. For us to come back to our humanity is to accept the very best, most beautiful parts of ourselves and the very worst. The ways that we contribute to upholding the global system and delusion and everything that comes with it. We can do that if we finally start to heal the relationship we have with self. But that individualism that whiteness teaches, it separates ourself. It separates us from ourself. It separates us from community. It separates us from God, from the divine. And so, no, healing my relationship with self learning to form a genuine connection to God, to the divine, and continuing to. I feel like I'm an infant crawling and not even taking baby steps yet to develop that, but being on that journey finally in a real sense. Like I'm only more confident in what I'm talking about. So race trader, yep. Self-hating white. I mean, I don't hate myself. I hate whiteness. I hate the delusion of white supremacy.